to kill that laser. They're cool laser guns. I like okay. Okay, you guys.
Hi. Hola.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to read you guys a book with a really important message. Now our story begins in a far-off planet called Planet Generation. Generation was an ancient planet that was as old as time. Generation was much more advanced than the planet Earth and had the best technology. They had cool gadgets and computers, and they even had super smart talking robots. These things were invented by the ruler of Planet Generation, the great King Morphous. King Morphous kept all of the best gadgets in his grand palace. One day, King Morphous decided to let 5 people into his palace to look at his newest inventions. He put 5 golden bottle caps on 5 bottles of space cola. The 5 people who found the 5 bottles of space cola were all excited, especially a young man named Shadow. That was the name that people had given him. Shadow was a tall, quiet young man who grew up near the capital of Generation. When Shadow and the other winners arrived at the palace, they couldn't believe their eyes. Inside of the palace, there were hundreds of gadgets and gizmos that Shadow had never seen before. Among the inventions was the most amazing-looking device that Shadow had ever seen. He snuck away from the others and examined the device. As Shadow looked at the device, he noticed that it was a part music listening device, part emailing device, and part web browsing device. Shadow realized that this device was the most amazing thing he had ever seen. Shadow approached the great King Morphous and asked him if he would be willing to give his great invention to the public. The great king grew very angry when he heard this. He refused and told Shadow that it was for the good of the people. Shadow was sure that the king was wrong and stormed out of the palace. He was sure that this super device would improve everyone's lives. Later that night, Shadow decided to break into the palace and steal the device in order to give it to the people of Generation. Shadow approached the device and took it out of the case. As soon as Shadow had the device, he climbed back out of the roof, dropped down into the front lawn of the palace, and ran away as fast as he could. The next morning, Shadow announced that he had a brand new invention for them. They all crowded around him and looked at the device. They all wanted to try the new device and clamored for it. As he watched everyone become jealous and angry, Shadow realized that the people of Generation were not ready for such a grand device. They all wanted one and were envious of each other. Shadow now understood why King Morphous didn't let the public have the device. Let's clean up. Okay, yeah, let's clean up.
Hi, on behalf of the Grover Cleveland High School Media Academy, I would like to thank you for taking the time to watch the preceding film. Our goal was to tell a story about a world full of interesting technology in contrast to an important issue. The technological resources that are available in Afghanistan are very limited and available to only a few. Over the past semester, we at the International Media class have been corresponding with those living in Afghanistan. From what they told us, they need our help to improve not only their available technology but their lives.